Hugging Tess one last time, Sylvie turned and made her way up the wall as they waved her off. The guards allowed her through the gate to the upper levels, and soon she disappeared from sight. Try to have some fun while you're with her, Art, Sylvie sent through their bond. Don't think about all the other things for a while. It's surprisingly easy to get used to Sylvie in that form, Tess remarked, glancing at him with a teasing smile. Well, if it weren't for those massive horns on her head, she'd just look like an unassuming little girl, Art replied. Those horns are pretty adorable, though. But anyway, Tess pointed toward the merchant area, her smile warm. Shall we be off? After you, Princess, he said, bowing slightly and gesturing for her to take the lead. It was a strange sensation, walking through the bustling market alongside Tess, talking and laughing as if the looming threat of thousands of monstrous, corrupted beasts waiting to slaughter everyone stationed here didn't exist. The atmosphere had changed drastically since Art's last visit to the wall. The underlying tension he had noticed before had now escalated into outright fear. Many of the stalls along the streets were closed, some emptied entirely, their owners having taken their wares and evacuated. Others simply buttoned up as merchants sought shelter from the approaching horde. A few brave, or perhaps foolish vendors remained, quietly offering their services to the sparse crowd navigating the streets. You're looking prettier than ever, Princess. A sight for sore eyes in these parts, a bald blacksmith called out, waving a pair of tongs in their direction. I'm going to tell your wife you said that, Tessia shot back with a mischievous grin. Art chuckled as the old smith snorted with laughter and returned to his work. A young girl covered in soot came sprinting toward them, her voice high and excited. Head Tessia! Head Tessia! She skidded to a stop, panting for breath before blurting, My master has a new set of armor for you that she's been working on in... The girl suddenly caught herself, shuffled closer to Tessia, and whispered, In secret. Tessia's face lit up. Oh, tell Senyer that I'll be by to visit her later tonight. Thank you for the message, Nat. Anytime, the girl beamed, her white teeth bright against her soot-stained cheeks. Only then did she seem to notice Art, giving him a small nod before scurrying off. As expected of Tessia, Art said, his tone brimming with adoration. Since I'm part of the Trailblazer division, I don't get to spend as much time here as I'd like, Tessia explained as they continued walking. But I've still managed to get to know a few people here and there. Art watched Tess from the corner of his eye as she turned left and right, her wide smile never faltering and her voice maintaining a constant stream of conversation. It was a rare sensation, the comfort he felt standing next to this girl he had known for so many years. Thoughts of his duties as a lance in general faded to the background. Then it hit him. This role he had accepted for the sake of Dickathan was slowly shaping him back into the man he had been in his old life. Some differences remained, of course. Here, he had people he truly cared for, which only made the weight of responsibility heavier. He had to be better, make no mistakes, if he wanted to keep them alive. Has being apart from me for so long finally made you realize how pretty your childhood best friend really is? Tess teased, pulling him from his thoughts. Actually, yes, he admitted earnestly. Caught off guard by his reply, Tess's cheeks flushed deeply, coloring the tips of her ears. I see. Well, it's good that you know now, she stammered, clearing her throat. Hey, there's this place just over there that I've always wanted to try, and it looks like they're still open. Come on. Tess grabbed Art by the arm and led him toward an isolated cart where a handful of adventurers had gathered. The smoky scent of herbs and spices blended with the savory aroma of grilled meat, assaulting his senses and causing his stomach to growl while his mouth watered. If it tastes as good as it smells, maybe I should have your grandfather hire him as a chef inside the castle, Art said, half joking. Tempting, but I'd feel bad for all the people who look forward to eating here, Tess replied with a grin. As they approached the cart, a short, stout man appeared from behind it, pushing 2 bowls filled with steaming stew of meat and vegetables across the counter with a warm smile. It's not much, but stew's on the house tonight, he grunted. No one should have to fight on an empty stomach. Thank you, Art said, reaching for the piping hot stew as Tess did the same. "But we'd like to offer you something. Are you sure we can't pay you for the meal?" The stand owner shook his head solemnly. Holding the bowl to his nose and inhaling the mouth-watering aroma, Art couldn't help but wonder how many meals he might miss after this one once the fighting began. "Regardless, thank you for the treat," he said, nodding respectfully to the cook. The portly man clicked his heels and saluted, his shirt lifting to reveal a round, bulging stomach. "No, thank you, General." After returning the gesture, Tess and Art wandered away, savoring the stew as they meandered through the market with no particular destination in mind. Tess used a wooden pick to skewer a piece of charred meat dripping with sauce. After taking a bite, her eyes closed and a look of serenity spread across her face. So good," she exclaimed. "You're probably the only person I know who'd regard a lance as a perk, Tess," Art replied, taking a bite himself. The stew was so flavorful that even the extravagant dishes served in the castle seemed bland by comparison. Despite his mental barriers, the flood of taste was strong enough that Sylvie could feel his satisfaction. "You better save some for me," she sent, curiosity tingling in her thought. "Sorry, I don't think I can promise you that," he replied, taking another bite. Despite the looming threat of the battle to come, Art felt more at peace in that moment than he had since he had fallen into the depths of Widow's Crypt and found Aaliyah Triskin, the lance he replaced after she died in his arms. A sudden melancholy settled over him. He was grateful to Tess, who kept him engrossed with stories of their time together in Elenoir and at Xyrus Academy. They exchanged small, kind words with the few people in the market streets and stopped at every open stall they passed. She laughed at the smallest things, and he found himself constantly looking forward to her reactions. In a way, her bright and sometimes childish demeanor was admirable. She was responsible for an entire unit, spending days, sometimes weeks, out in the beast glades, battling dangerous, corrupted beasts. Yet she still found joy in the simplest things around her, and her positivity radiated outward, touching everyone nearby. Tess's hand slowly reached toward the bowl of stew Art was holding, pulling him back to reality. "If you're not going to eat that?" He snapped the dish out of her reach, just as the skewer in her hand tried to spear one of the few remaining chunks of meat he had been saving. "You wish?" he said. "As expected of a lance," Tess replied, pouting. Art rolled his eyes. "Yes, because it's imperative for a lance to learn how to defend his or her food from treacherous allies." He held out a piece of meat on his own skewer. "Fine. Here." Her eyes brightened visibly as she rose onto her tiptoes to bite the meat from his skewer. "So good," she moaned, cheeks full. They walked on in silence for a while, each lost in their own thoughts. The rhythmic hammering and grinding from the forge echoed through the streets. No doubt the smiths were still laboring in the heat to craft as many blades, axes, and spears as possible before the horde's arrival. Elsewhere, builders and miners worked tirelessly to prepare for Art's plan, and within the medical tents, supplies were being inventoried and organized, and space reallocated for the wounded. If his mother were here, surely she would be overseeing the preparations with her usual stoic expression. But no, his parents were far away, safe in Black Bend City. At least for now, he didn't need to worry about them. Art spotted a confectionery stall where several colorful dough-like desserts were displayed and pointed it out. "Do you want something from there? I haven't seen anyone else selling sweets." "I'm okay, but Carria loves these," Tess said, eyeing the bright treats. "I'll go by myself. Just wait here, okay?" "Yes, ma'am," he replied. The elderly woman running the stall looked at Tess hopefully, gesturing to her wares and saying something Art didn't catch. As Tess stood examining the different flavors, he wandered over to a small booth nearby. "Please, sir, let me know if you see anything you like," the young attendant exclaimed, leaning forward and lowering his voice. "My mum won't let me close up shop until we make back what we spent, see?" "I'm just looking around," Art answered, eyes fixed on the display of trinkets and accessories laid out on the white cloth. "Actually, can I purchase this?" He indicated a simple charm that had caught his attention. "Of course. That'll be 1 silver. Ouch! The boy yelped, glancing back. What gives, Mom? What do you think you're doing? An older woman appeared beside the boy, breathing heavily. Art suspected she had dashed back to the booth upon noticing him, and looked at him apologetically. I'm so sorry, General. My boy here is a bit ignorant of the world. But didn't you say I had to earn another 3 silvers before we pack up? The boy protested indignantly. If he's some general, surely he can pay. The mother smacked him again before handing Art the charm. Please take this as an apology for my son's rude behavior. Again, I'm so sorry. No problem at all, and please, I'd like to pay for it, Art insisted. She waved her hand dismissively. Oh no, how could I possibly take money from a lance? Art admitted. Well, it's a present, you see, and I'd feel better about giving it to the person if I'd paid for it. Is it that pretty lady over there with the silver? Ouch! Mom! The boy exclaimed, rubbing the spot on his shoulder where he'd been struck. Chuckling, Art tossed the kid a coin and thanked both of them before walking back toward Tess. Wait, this is a gold coin, the mother called after him. Looking over his shoulder, he held up the charm. I just paid what I thought this was worth. It's very well made, ma'am. The woman stared at him for a moment, stunned, then bowed stiffly. Thank you. Art returned to the confectionery just in time to see Tess devour a piece of stretchy dough in a single bite. She looked at him guiltily, holding a piece out. Do oo want shom too? What happened to just buying it for Carria? He teased. As sunset approached and the bitter chill settled in, the few people remaining in the streets began heading indoors. Art and Tess made a quick stop at the inn so Tess could drop off the desserts she had bought for Carria. The rest of her group was asleep, so he didn't get a chance to greet them. When do you leave for your next mission? He asked, almost afraid of the answer. Later tonight, she replied, eyes downcast. There's a place I want to show you before you go then. Is that all right? He asked with a hopeful smile. Tess exhaled softly, taking in the view. They had climbed to the cliff where Art had once come after the confrontation with his parents. The sun hovered just above the horizon, casting a warm glow over the beast glades. The view here is even better than from the castle, she murmured. I agree, Art said, leaning forward to glance at the top of the wall and the people still moving about it. Though the streets below had emptied, the wall itself remained alive with activity. I found this place by chance. I've only been here once before. They sat side by side, their shoulders barely touching. Tess shifted her gaze from the scenery to Art. I wanted to say this earlier, but it's been a while, Arthur. There was something about the way the red sun caught the sheen of her gray hair, or the subtle tilt of her head exposing the nape of her neck, that made Art's heart feel like it might burst from his chest. Unable to meet her eyes, he looked away. Where will you be heading for your next mission? My unit, along with a few other elves from the Trailblazer Division, is being sent back to Eleanor tonight, she replied. Because of the Alacrian attacks? Yeah. Our scouts have reported several recent sightings of Alacrian stragglers throughout the forest. It doesn't sound too serious, but they've been requesting backup for a while, and Captain Jesmia finally relented, she explained, resting her chin on her knees. Art considered the weight of the captain's decisions, especially with the beast horde closing in. The captain has a difficult choice to make, particularly with the horde approaching, he said. Although, I'm sort of glad you won't be here for this battle. Tess swatted his leg playfully. While I may not be a match for a lance, I recently broke through to the mid-silver stage. Art hadn't thought to check her mana levels, so the news caught him by surprise. Congratulations, truly. Tess's shimmering turquoise eyes studied him for a moment before she let out a dramatic sigh. I wonder when the mighty General Arthur, who is actually younger than me, will begin to treat me as someone who can take care of herself. I know you can take care of yourself, he assured her. I'm sorry if my words came off the wrong way. Spending time with you today made me realize how much older you've gotten. Tess inched away slightly, turning to look directly at him. Am I supposed to take that as a compliment? Art scratched his chin, his thoughts spinning as he struggled to articulate his feelings. What I meant was, you give off a different aura now. I'm not talking about mana, although your core has improved, but more like, I've gotten more mature? Tess finished for him. Art let out a soft groan. Yeah, that. Shaking her head at him, Tess turned back to watch the sun dip below the horizon, scooting slightly closer as she settled beside him. Memories of his last conversation with Tess drifted through Art's mind. It hadn't been that long ago, yet she seemed so different now, more mature, just as she had said. Then it struck him. The sense of elation and joy he felt upon seeing Tess wasn't just Sylvie's emotions flooding into his mind. He still felt it on his own. He reached into the inside pocket of his mantle, retrieving the charm he had bought earlier. He liked Tess. He had always liked Tess. If it weren't for the fact that he had memories of his previous life as an adult, he might have confessed his feelings to her long before. But how would she react if she knew his secret? Would she respond the way his parents had? Would she feel disgusted, like he had when he first realized his feelings for her? Doubt weighed heavily on him, and suddenly the tiny charm in his hand felt like lead. Thank you for showing me this place. I always thought of the Beast Glades as such a dangerous and bloody place. I didn't realize how beautiful it could be. That's exactly how I felt. I love the view up here, but honestly, this place is tied to a bad memory, so He gripped the charm more tightly. I thought coming up here with you might make it better. Has it? She asked, shifting slightly. Made it better, I mean? It has, Art said seriously. Summoning his courage, he held out his hand, gesturing for Tess to do the same, then set her gift gingerly into her palm. It was a simple silver charm, 2 leaves laid over one another to form the shape of a heart. I got this for you. It's so pretty, Tess cooed, holding the charm up to inspect it. Is this perhaps a reward for the great tour I gave you today? No. His tongue felt unbearably heavy, his mouth suddenly dry. It's because I like you. Wait, what? Tess's eyes widened, her expression more disbelief than surprise. I'm sorry. I was so wrapped up in your present, I must have misheard. I swear I thought you said, I like you, Tess. Art finished with more conviction, pushing down the doubt growing inside him. Tess stood up, eyeing him as if he were a merchant trying to swindle her. What do you mean by like? I swear, Arthur, if you say you like me as a friend, or as a sister or something, I'm going to... I like you as a... He paused, then let out a sigh. I love you. Tess's lips trembled, her eyes shining like stars as she tried to contain her emotions. I love you as a girl, Art assured her, standing and reaching for her hand. I hope that you feel the same way about me, and well, maybe we can, start a relationship together. If you're enjoying this series, please give the video a like. It really helps others discover it. And if you'd like to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Want the next chapter? Comment next chapter below.